So before I start the review, I just want to give you some perspective as to how small these cases are. This is my normal case for, that's how small the Travel Plus Edition case is compared to my other case. And then you also have an extremely smaller case, which is the compact, the XT235 compact. But before we do anything, let's roll that B-roll. In the beginning there was a case, and a case was made by Tom from Germany. Every case has pros and cons, and here I share some of my observations after using these two cases. So we'll start off with the cons because they have the least number of things. First is the label, I think, is upside down. I say this because when I open up the lid, I think the label should be reading right side up. The second con is the rubber pads on the legs. Not sure if I lost mine or they were not installed, but this caused the case to slide on smooth surfaces. The inserts on the compact case were a little loose on the thin edge, but not really a con, just an observation. Understandably, it is a really small case, and to pack a lot, the padding in some areas are really thin. Overall build quality is excellent. It is solid, robust with just enough flexibility. The inlay is finely poured rigid PE foam that has a beautiful and professional finish. The additional surface sealing is outstanding, and I cannot commend them enough for this additional protection. I personally like the lateral storage position of the drone with the recessed padding, so there is no impact to the motors in any event of a drop or collision. They thought this through very well, I think. Rubber gaskets are rubbery and not hard and brittle. This is really good for sealing. You need these rubber gaskets to take the shape of the indents around the case to form a complete seal as it closes. The hinges are solid plastic, very dense, and does not feel like cheap plastic at all. The opening and closing of the case is firm with no play in the hinges. This means the alignment of the seal as it closes will always be perfect. The automatic pressure valve is something new, and I must say, impressive addition. Normally these pressure valves are manual, and you will need to open them to release pressure as you ascend or descend high altitudes. When you're going over water and not changing altitudes, we would close this valve completely to not allow ingress. But we tested these automatic valves in water, and there was no ingress with the automatic valves. The cases are dustproof, shockproof, and waterproof. Now remember, there is a difference between products stating resistant and proof, waterproof and water resistant. These cases are waterproof and they're IP67 rated. So if you don't know what that is, I'll put a link down in the description as to what IP67 rating is. We tried throwing it in a small river, and it has great buoyancy. It even floats upside down and won't pass the valve. Another advantage which I have noticed recently is the case. Even the compact case has notches on them that fits the Mavic Air perfectly. So I'm not too sure if this was intentional, but I really think this is a good idea. I've taken off from the compact case, which is a smaller case, and also the Travel Plus Edition, which is a larger case, has an even larger takeoff area. So if you don't have a very nice place to take off and you want to keep your drone clean, you can take off using these cases. And I've also landed back on the Travel Plus case. I won't try it with the small case, it's too small. Now that we have talked about the advantages and disadvantages of the cases, let's look at comparison between the two. The compact case has smaller latches and the Travel Plus has really large latches, which I think is really good. Both cases allow you to install the controller without removing the joystick, so this is very convenient for quick access and quick use afterwards. The small case does not allow you to put propellers in them. The larger case, which is the Travel Plus edition, allows you to put propellers and even your propeller guards if you're not using the extra batteries on the top. Both cases allow you to insert 4 micro SD cards, but the difference is the compact case only has one slot for an SD card or an SD card adapter, while the Travel Plus edition has 2 slots, so you can have an SD card and a micro SD card adapter. The compact case only has 2 slots for filters, and the Travel Plus edition has 4 slots for filters, so you can put your CPL, UV, ND64, ND32 or whatever you like in those slots. If you've missed those points and differences, don't worry, I'll put them in a text in a comparison form right now. If you're skeptical about using hard cases, these cases are not very big. Just to illustrate, I have one of my sports bags and I can fit the larger case, which is the Travel Plus, in the laptop compartment. It fits very well in there, and I usually do this just to conceal it so that it's not obvious that I have a drone case with me when I'm going around. And I can fit the second case in the top compartment, so this is to show you how small these cases are. One of the best things which I think is really good with these cases are the handles. They're not plastic handles, they're rubber, and they're really nice rubber. It's non-slip. If you have wet hands or sweaty hands or whatever, if it's raining and you're holding the cases, they are not slippery, and I think this is really good compared to cases with plastic handles. So that is a very good thing. Alright, I hope this video has helped you know more about these cases, whether it is the compact case or the Travel Plus edition. I personally prefer the Travel Plus edition, which is the larger case. Of course, if I don't use the extra batteries, I can take my prop guards in the case around using that extra slot. The compact case is not bad at all, and for the price, I think it is quite a quality product. The only downside about the small case is that the paddings are fairly thin, and I've talked about that earlier in the review. So if that doesn't bother you that much, you get a lot of protection from the compact case. And the Travel Plus edition case is highly recommended. They don't have the issues with the padding that is really thin like the compact case because of the space constraint. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this review. If you have any questions about the cases, please write them in the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. Until next time, fly safe and God bless.